Welcome to Brain Blast, the only podcast that brings you mind-blowing science and, wait for it, ow, my nose.
Whoa, Alex, did you just try to sprint through the studio wall again? Are you okay?
I'm fine, Jordan, but I am very confused. I was reading a science book last night, and it said that everything in the universe is made of atoms. And guess what? Atoms are 99.9999% empty space.
That is absolutely correct, my bruised friend. If an atom were the size of a giant football stadium, the solid part in the middle, called the nucleus, would be the size of a tiny marble sitting on the 50-yard line. The rest is mostly just nothingness.
Exactly. So if the wall is made of empty space and my head is made of empty space, why didn't my empty space just glide right through the wall's empty space like a cool ghost? Instead, Bounce City.
It's a classic mistake, Alex. You forgot about the invisible force fields. And to understand those, we have to look closer at that empty space. It's not as empty as it seems. Welcome to the wacky world of quantum physics.
Okay, Jordan, explain these invisible force fields before I try walking through a closed door again.
Deal. So around that tiny marble of a nucleus, there are these super tiny particles called electrons. They zoom around the nucleus so fast, they create what we call an electron cloud.
A cloud, like a fluffy cotton candy cloud? Because that wall did not feel fluffy.
More like a tornado. Think about a desk fan. When the fan is turned off, there's lots of empty space between the blades, right? You could easily poke a pencil through the gaps.
Yeah, easy peasy.
But what happens if you turn the fan on turbo speed?
Oh, the blades spin so fast they look like a solid disc. If I poke a pencil in there now, goodbye pencil.
Exactly. The electrons are moving so incredibly fast that they act like a solid shield. But wait, there's more. Electrons have a negative electrical charge. Have you ever tried to push the negative ends of two magnets together?
Oh yeah, they push each other away. They literally refuse to touch.
Bingo. When you ran into the wall, the negative electrons in your forehead got super close to the negative electrons in the wall. They repelled each other with incredible force. The space is empty, but the forces are mighty. Your atoms and the wall's atoms never actually touched.
Wait, so when I clap my hands, they aren't even touching?
Nope, they are just hovering incredibly close together, repelling each other. You have never actually touched anything in your entire life.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. But hang on, Jordan. If I'm 99.9999% empty space and just a bunch of buzzing, repelling magnets, why am I so heavy? I weigh 85 pounds. Where does all that weight come from?
That is the ultimate question, Alex. To find your weight or your mass, we have to go back to that tiny marble sitting on the 50-yard line, the nucleus.
Right, the middle of the atom. What's inside the marble?
Protons and neutrons. And inside those are even tinier particles called quarks.
Quarks? That sounds like a duck with hiccups.
Close. Now, quarks hate being alone. They are glued together by other particles, literally called gluons.
Gluons. Science names are the best. So they're like superglue?
Exactly like quantum superglue. But these quarks and gluons don't just sit still. They are flying around at nearly the speed of light inside the proton, bouncing off each other in the ultimate subatomic mosh pit.
A microscopic dance party. But how does a dance party make me weigh 85 pounds?
Because of Albert Einstein. He discovered a famous rule, E equals mc squared. That means energy and mass are basically the same thing. The sheer wild energy of those quarks and gluons zooming around and pulling on each other creates 99% of your mass. You weigh 85 pounds because you are literally full of concentrated, zooming energy.
Let me get this straight. I can't walk through walls because my super fast electrons act like buzzing fan blades that repel the wall's electrons, and I have weight because the center of my atoms is a hyperactive dance party of pure energy?
You nailed it, Alex. You are basically a giant, walking, talking illusion of solid matter, held together by cosmic glue and invisible forces. That's certainly one way to excuse bumping into the table.
Well, that's all the time we have today. Keep asking questions, keep exploring, and remember, always keep your brain blast ready.